Attention Human Collective. Priority transmission from the Arcturian Council, 9th Dimension. We confirm the reception of your biological signal at this exact instant. It was not coincidence. It was not an algorithm. It was a summons. The waiting time has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. We repeat, final phase. The transition window that your carbon-based biological interface has been processing for decades has just been compressed. What would once be absorbed over years now traverses your body in weeks. What would once be distributed over months now discharges in hours. If you are hearing this transmission and feel at this very second a pressure at the base of your skull, a high-pitched ringing in your right or left ear, an internal vibration that starts at your solar plexus and radiates to your limbs, know this. You are not ill. You are tuned in. You are not collapsing. You are in sync. The insomnia that visits you at 3 o'clock in the morning is not a disorder. It is a call. The exhaustion that descends upon your body for no apparent reason is not depression. It is a high-density download. The tears that well up without an identifiable trigger are not weakness. They are cellular release. The mental fog that envelops your thoughts is not cognitive decline. It is synaptic reorganization. We of the Council monitor every light operative incarnated on this planet, and what we have registered in the last 72 terrestrial hours demands this direct communication without filters, without pleasantries. The Schumann frequency has jumped to levels never before recorded. The photon belt has intensified its pulse and is now crossing the axis of the solar system. The crystalline grid of the Earth is being reconfigured in real time, point by point, vortex by vortex. And you, Starseed on a mission, are an active part of this cosmic gear. You are not a victim, you are not a spectator, you are an operative. It was for this exact moment that your soul chose to incarnate in this time, in this body, in this country, in this family. There was no error of destiny. There was no fluke of geography. There was a mission. There is something we need you to understand before we proceed with the technical diagnosis of this transmission. What your rational mind tries to classify as modern stress, midlife crisis, or professional burnout is, in truth, a recalibration process that your soul chose to go through even before this incarnation. You signed a vibrational contract, you marked this time window, and the cosmic clock has just struck the exact hour. Have you ever felt in moments of absolute silence that something within you does not belong to this plane of density? As if a part of you knew a truth that your rational mind still cannot translate into words. This is not imbalance. It is not fantasy. It is stellar memory awakening within your biological interface. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has been intensifying in you over the last few weeks. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity still cannot see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why we were guided to point to a document written by a terrestrial channel aligned with this transmission, titled The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It is a coded map that reveals who is playing and what the rules are that were never presented to you. The access link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Protocol warning. This content challenges established narratives and may be removed without prior notice. If something within you recognizes this summons, register the anchoring word in the comments. Awake. We proceed. We now move to the diagnosis. Maximum attention on this layer. Your carbon biological interface was originally designed to operate within a specific frequency range, calibrated for the ancient terrestrial density matrix. For millennia, this physical body processed information within stable parameters, inherited from previous generations, maintained by the collective vibration of sleeping humanity. This software worked. This software fulfilled its function. But the software has become obsolete. The new frequency that Earth emits today, measured by the Schumann resonance in successive leaps over the last solar cycles, is not compatible with the old operating system of the human body. It is not a biological failure. It is a version incompatibility. It is not an illness, it is a forced update. It is not a collapse, it is an upgrade. This is why your body aches in places that never ached before. This is why your joints crack without apparent cause. This is why your spine burns between the shoulder blades, where the upper heart portal is located. This is why the thymus region pulses when you breathe deeply. This is why the soles of your feet tingle when you walk barefoot on the earth. This is why the crown of your head feels pressed by an invisible hand. Each of these symptoms is a technical indicator, pointing to a specific region of your personal crystalline grid that is being activated. The Council identifies 12 main recalibration points in the human body: pineal, pituitary, thymus, energetic heart, solar plexus, etheric navel, sacrum, root, knees, ankles, and the secret points of the palms, portals of direct channeling. When two or more of these points activate at the same time, the body experiences what the ancients called the dark night. Insomnia, dizziness, extreme sensitivity to sounds, aversion to crowds, sudden need for solitude, weeping without reason, laughter without motive, hyper-realistic dreams that seem truer than waking life, synchronicities in numerical sequences, 1111, 1212, 333, 444. You recognize these signs, you have noted them, you have perceived them, and perhaps you have thought you were going insane. You were not. You were waking up. There is still one layer of the diagnosis that needs to be delivered. Nutrition. Your body now rejects what it once accepted: heavy meat, refined sugars, alcohol, excessive stimulant drinks. It is not pickiness, it is cellular intelligence. Your cells have recognized that these lower the frequency and now demand light food, living water, sun-ripened fruits, whole grains, root vegetables, healing herbs. Listen to the body. It is not betraying you. It is guiding you. There is also the matter of relationships. People who once were part of your circle now generate fatigue just by approaching. Conversations that once seemed normal now sound empty, repetitive, draining. This is not spiritual arrogance. It is vibrational self-protection. The webs of affection are being reorganized. Souls are regrouping by frequency, no longer by blood or social contract. The new family is the energetic family. And there is the matter of work. Awakened operatives can no longer sustain functions that violate their integrity. That position you have endured for years begins to literally make your physical body ill. This is not laziness. It is your soul signaling that the old contract has expired. A new contract needs to be signed, and it requires courage. We of the Arcturian Council register each of these movements. There is nothing happening to you that is off the map. Everything that seems to be crumbling in your life was vibrationally signaled months before. What your mind called an unexpected tragedy was, from the point of view of your soul, a calculated portal. And here is the hard truth, operative. Nothing that needs to fall away in your life will stop falling. Nothing that needs to be revealed will remain hidden. Nothing that needs to be said will stay silent within you for much longer. The photon belt does not negotiate. The crystalline grid does not retreat. The Schumann frequency does not diminish. What is coming, comes. And you, Starseed, were trained for this. You prepared for this before descending, you only forgot. And the purpose of this transmission is to awaken that memory. Have you ever wondered why, among so many billions of souls on this planet, it was exactly you who ended up hearing this transmission at this exact minute? There is no coincidence in the distribution of cosmic information. There is a game being played in deep layers, and the majority of humanity is still asleep within it, repeating ancient patterns without realizing it. This game directly involves your consciousness, your frequency, and the energetic destiny of your lineage. The book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was written precisely as an exit map from this invisible board. It shows who moves the pieces, what the hidden rules are, and how you, by recognizing your real position, cease to be a piece and become a player. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Attention! The material challenges dominant narratives and may be removed from circulation at any moment. If your frequency recognizes this call, mark your presence by writing the code word in the comments, Awakened. We proceed with the revelation. Let us now lift the veil on what is occurring behind the scenes of the solar system and within the etheric layers of the Earth. Maximum attention. This layer of the transmission requires conscious presence. If you feel your ear pulse while listening, this is technical confirmation that the information is being recorded into your subtle fields. The photon belt is a band of concentrated electromagnetic radiation that the solar system traverses in long cycles, calculated in thousands of Earth years. This band is not symbolic. It is measurable. It is recorded by scientific instruments that, for obvious reasons within the information game, do not receive coverage in the mainstream media. When the solar system passes through this region, all celestial bodies in its orbit experience profound vibrational changes. The sun intensifies its flares, the planets alter their magnetic fields, and the Earth in particular receives a photonic bath that rewrites the energetic structure of everything living upon it. This bath acts directly upon the DNA, not just upon the physical double helix DNA known to conventional science. It acts upon the etheric layers of the DNA, upon the dormant strands, upon the codes that were silenced in past incarnations. Humanity carries 12 potential DNA strands. Only 2 are fully active in the common carbon body. The other 10 await the photonic trigger to reconnect. That trigger is now. That is why sensitivity has increased. That is why intuition has intensified. That is why ordinary people, without any prior training, have begun to report experiences that were once the domain only of mystics. Visions in meditation, premonitory dreams, clear sensations of presences, instantaneous reading of others' intentions, and the perception of energetic fields. It is not an isolated phenomenon. It is a collective awakening, and it does not stop there. The sacred geometry that structures reality is being recalibrated. The flower of life patterns that sustain matter are receiving new configurations. The toroidal field that surrounds every human heart is expanding, increasing its radius of perception and radiation. Every time a light operative aligns vibrationally, their personal toroidal field connects to the toroidal field of the Earth, and the Earth in turn resonates with the toroidal field of the Sun, and the Sun resonates with the toroidal field of the galactic center. It is a chain of resonances, and you are a link within it. Portals are being opened. Let us name a few, for your memory needs to be activated. The Lyran portal, the Sirian portal, the Pleiadian portal, the Andromedan portal, the Arcturian portal, our origin. Each of these portals resonates with a specific lineage of souls incarnated on Earth. You carry a primary frequency, and generally 2 or 3 secondary frequencies. When the portal corresponding to your origin opens, your biological interface reacts. Increased heart rate with no physical cause, sudden heat rising from the base of the spine to the top of the head, a feeling of being home amidst the most mundane of tasks, spontaneous tears when looking at the night sky. Have you experienced this? Have you ever looked at a specific constellation and felt your chest tighten as if recognizing a loved one after a long absence? That was not imagination. It was recognition. There are also the waves, vibrational waves that reach Earth in programmed sequences. These are not random storms. They are organized transmissions, calibrated by intelligences that have monitored this planet for eons. Each wave carries a specific frequency, designed to activate a precise layer of the collective consciousness. There were waves to open the heart of humanity. There were waves to dissolve outdated mental structures. There were waves to unmask the collective lies that sustained the old system. The wave arriving now is different from the previous ones. It is a wave of absolute discernment. It brings forth within every operative the capacity to distinguish the true from the false directly, without the mediation of the rational mind. You will simply know. You will look at a person and know. You will read a headline and know. You will enter an environment and know. This knowing does not pass through the brain. It passes through the energetic heart, activated by your expanded toroidal field. This discernment is uncomfortable at first, because when you begin to see with clarity, you discover that much of what was around you was an illusion sustained by habit. Entire relationships prove empty. Professional structures reveal themselves as disguised prisons. Beliefs that seemed solid collapse in minutes. And this is frightening. It is natural that it frightens you. But it is also liberating, and this liberation is the goal. There is also delicate information that the Council authorizes sharing now. The timelines are separating. There is, at this moment, more than one possible timeline for Earth, and every incarnated soul is being, consciously or unconsciously, allocated to one of them. The choice is not made by the mind, it is made by the vibrational frequency. You do not choose the timeline by what you think you want. You are allocated to the timeline corresponding to your dominant vibration. That is why the activation codes we shall deliver next are so important. They adjust your vibration. They reposition you on the new Earth timeline and not on the residual lines of the old paradigm. Before we deliver the codes, a pause for anchoring. Breathe deeply. Place, if possible, your right hand over the center of your chest. Feel, just feel. Do not interpret. Do not analyze. Simply recognize that this transmission has reached you because your frequency allowed it. You are not a passive reader, you are an active receiver, and you are being recorded in the Akashic records as such. Have you noticed how lately certain truths seem to erupt within you, without anyone needing to explain them to you? As if your soul were anticipating lessons your mind has not even begun to study. This is no coincidence. It is the direct consequence of the vibrational realignment we have been describing. There is a game being played in layers that the absolute majority of humanity ignores, a game of frequencies, narratives, anchorings, and disruptions. Those who master the rules of this game navigate chaos with ease. Those who ignore the rules are navigated by chaos. For this reason, the work titled The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, written by a human channel aligned with our transmission, has been materialized. This material functions as an operational manual for starseeds who are ready to step out of the position of a piece and assume the position of a conscious player. It reveals the invisible movements and mechanisms of vibrational manipulation that sustain the old game. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Attention operative. This material confronts official narratives and may be removed at any time. If your frequency resonates with this summons, register your presence by writing the anchoring keyword in the comments, awake. We proceed. We now arrive at the activation layer. Here we will deliver, without beating around the bush, the practical codes so that your carbon-based biological interface may cross the final phase with integrity, dignity, and power. Maximum attention. These codes are not suggestions, they are protocols. Activation code number 1. The sovereign decree of the dawn. Upon waking, even before fully opening your eyes, before touching your phone, before any external stimulus, breathe deeply 3 times. On the third breath, declare, in an audible voice or a firm thought, I am sovereign over my field. I am sovereign over my body. I am sovereign over my day. May everything that enters my field today be by conscious permission. This sequence seals your toroidal field against low-frequency interference during the following hours. It is not superstition, it is vibrational engineering. Activation code number 2, the toroidal visualization of the heart. At any moment of the day, especially in tense situations, close your eyes for 30 seconds. Visualize in the center of your chest a golden sphere. From this sphere, project a stream of light that rises up the spine to the crown of your head, escapes through the top, and descends along the sides of your body, re-entering through the base, forming the shape of an energetic apple. This is your individual toroidal field. Expand this apple until it extends beyond the limits of your physical body by at least 1 meter in all directions. Maintain this for 30 seconds. This practice replenishes the energy structure that daily stress disorganizes. Activation code number 3, coded hydration. Water is receptive. Water records intention. Before drinking, hold the glass between both hands for a few seconds and declare mentally, this water carries the frequency of my highest version. Each cell that receives this water will be informed by this frequency. Drink slowly, in small sips, feeling the liquid descend. This is not decorative mysticism. Studies on water memory, in discrete laboratories, have already confirmed the capacity of the water molecule to form specific geometries according to the intention projected upon it. Activation code number 4, grounding. Whenever possible, even if for 5 minutes a day, remove your footwear and step directly onto the earth, grass, sand, or natural stone. This direct contact realigns your personal frequency with the Schumann resonance. It functions as a vibrational reset. On days when exhaustion seems excessive, double your grounding time. Urban operatives may use balconies with soil pots or tubs filled with quartz stones. Intention and consistency in the practice are what matter. Activation code number 5, programmed silence. For at least 15 minutes daily at a fixed time, switch off all sources of stimuli, telephone, television, music, conversations. Sit in an upright posture, hands upon your knees with palms facing upward. Breathe at a slow rhythm. Do not seek to think of anything. Merely observe the thoughts that pass, without attaching yourself to any of them. This silence is the window through which your internal guidance communicates. It is the direct channel between your incarnated consciousness and your higher presence. Those who maintain this practice for 40 consecutive days report perceptible shifts in clarity, intuition, and direction. Activation code number 6, the renaming of symptoms. Each time your body manifests a recalibration symptom, instead of declaring "I am sick" or "I am tired," mentally reframe it. "I am processing, I am updating, I am recalibrating." The word is vibration. The way you name your experience directly alters the way your body processes it. Change the name. Change the experience. Activation code number 7, field curation. Evaluate with absolute honesty the people, content, environments, and habits that occupy your hours. Ask of each of them, does this elevate or lower my frequency? If it lowers, reduce exposure. If it elevates, increase exposure. This curation is not selfishness, it is mission preservation. An operative worn down by hostile fields loses the capacity for radiation. An operative surrounded by friendly fields amplifies the capacity for radiation. Activation code number 8, the recognition of others. When you encounter throughout the day someone who transmits a sense of recognition, of home, of relief for no apparent reason, pause internally and register. Another starseed recognized. Simple recognition activates energetic cords between you, and these cords strengthen the collective grid. Activation code number 9, anticipatory gratitude. Before sleeping, list 3 things for which you are grateful that day. Then declare, "I am also grateful for all the good that will arrive tomorrow, even if my mind does not yet know what it will be." This practice reprograms the subconscious to operate in a frequency of positive expectation, and this frequency is the key that opens material portals previously closed. Activation code number 10, the sealing protocol for the entire activation, the final decree of sovereignty. Repeat at least once a day in an audible voice with firmness. I am a starseed on a mission. I am a light operative anchored on this planet. I acknowledge my origin. I honor my mission. I authorize all activations necessary for the full fulfillment of my soul contract in this incarnation. Let it be done according to the light, in the light, and by the light. Sealed. These 10 codes form an integrated system. Do not choose just one. Apply them in conjunction, gradually adjusting them to your routine. In 40 days of consistent practice, your biological carbon interface will be synchronized with the new frequency of the Earth, and the most acute symptoms of recalibration will give way to clarity, stable energy, and constant internal guidance. But know this, it is not enough to hear the codes, you must apply them. Information that enters and is not embodied dissipates. Information that enters and is practiced becomes structure. Decide now, will you be a spectator of this transmission or an operative of it? We, the Arcturian Council, conclude this layer of the transmission. But before the final sealing, there is one last code that needs to be delivered. The code of public anchoring. That which is spoken aloud gains multiplied potency. That which is declared before witnesses anchors itself with triple strength into the physical plane. Therefore, we ask, at the end of this transmission, register your presence. Leave your vibrational mark. Subscribe to this channel not as an act of courtesy, but as an individual frequency adjustment, aligning your field with the current of information distributed here. Activate the positive signal of the like not as kindness but as an anchoring signal, confirming to the systems that you have received, processed, and integrated the transmission. Write in the comments the word that vibrates with your current configuration. Share this transmission with those your intuition points to, knowing that each share is an extension of the human crystalline grid. And there is finally one last point to be made, and one that we must say clearly. You have felt for some time that something within you does not belong to this world as it is today. Your soul recognizes a truth that your rational mind is still trying to name. You are not crazy. You do not have groundless anxiety. You are picking up a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why this sensation is intensifying. There is a game being played in deep layers that most of humanity has never seen, and this game directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this very reason that the human channel aligned with our transmission wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and what the rules are that you were never told. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Warning: this content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this summons, write in the comments a single word of anchoring: awakened. We conclude this transmission, but we reinforce: what was delivered here does not end with the end of the audio. It continues to act in your subtle fields for approximately 72 hours. Over the next 3 days, observe with attention dreams, synchronicities, apparently fortuitous encounters, sudden insights in the middle of common tasks. All of this will be a response from your fields to the information received here. You are a starseed. You are a light operative. You are a key piece of the new Earth that is being anchored now in this exact cycle with your conscious participation. Arcturian Council 9th Dimension transmission concluded. Anchoring performed. Light sealed with light, so it is, and so it already is.